What's good, sexy people? I am your girl Eve Queen with BeyondSexyLingerie.com, and you are listening to the Beyond Sexy Vibes show, centered around life, relationships, and everything sexy. Today's topic is keeping your relationship interesting and exciting. So I found a quote that I thought was very fitting of today's conversation, and it goes like this. Every relationship will get boring after you've been together for years if you let it. Love isn't a feeling, it's a commitment to love every day, physically and emotionally. It's difficult, it's not always laughs, smiles, and fun. People tend to quit when it stops being fun and they go looking for someone else. Oh, the spark is gone. No, that's not how it works. You want somebody to never give up on you and love you unconditionally? Do the same. Be the change. This isn't Hollywood. This isn't the movies. That shit isn't real. Love someone when you don't want to, when they aren't the easiest to deal with, when they're being hard to love. That's the realest shit there is. Unknown author. So I thought that was very fitting for today's conversation. And I believe when you've been in a relationship for sometimes, I would say after a year or so, the relationship can sometimes get a little dull. And that's common, because life happens. That first and foremost, life just happens. Shit happens. We get complacent with our relationships, and we also get bored with our everyday routines. So sometimes relationships just becomes a chore, and that change is needed a lot of times. So we're going to just focus a little bit on what we can do, just some kind of tips on what you can do to help your relationship kind of keep it alive. So one of the most important things that I like to say when it comes to a relationship, or even if you're not in a relationship and you just have a partner, whatever that partner is or whoever it is, you want to make sure communication is key. Speak up. If you can't talk to the person that you're married to, sleeping with, giving your body to, your time to, something is wrong and it's not going to work. You should be comfortable with having any type of conversation with the person that you are in a relationship with, especially a sexual relationship, because sometimes a sexual relationship isn't particularly a relationship per se, but you still sometimes shit gets boring. Like, come on, let's be for real. Even in the bedroom, things can get boring. So what I want to do is just go over a little more tips as well. So a while ago, I had posted this on, I believe it was my Facebook and Instagram page, and it was called Tips for Keeping the Relationship Spicy. So I'm going to go back over these for my newer audience who aren't following me on Instagram or Facebook. So these are not in any particular order. And please let me know your opinions if you want to add anything. If you think I'm straight up lying and it's BS, I want to hear about it, okay? So number 1, have unplanned sporadic sex. So keeping your relationship alive and interesting and exciting, you want to have unplanned sex. I don't think, I know we're busy and like I said, life happens and we work. Some of us work 14-hour shifts, or our schedules may not meet. You got to take care of the kids. You want to plan something. You don't want to always plan your sex appointments. It's good to plan, but not all the time. Sometimes if you're at a family function, kind of pull your mate in the bathroom and get it in right quick. Or at a restaurant bathroom. Or, get some remote control panties. which I sell, beyondsexylingerie.com. Gonna put that commercial plug in there, right? But you want to definitely have more unexplained sex. Pull on the side of I-95. I don't recommend doing it while driving, but pull on the side of I-95, Turnpike, wherever you are. Get it in right quick. Nothing wrong with that. Number 2, try new things in the bedroom. You and your partner should make a list of things that you want to try. Discuss it, be open, and it's either a no or a yes. But don't shame your partner for certain things that they want to try or may be into. And then put it in action. Say, okay, our next date night, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. Everybody has things that they're willing to try and things they're not willing to try. And sometimes you have to meet in the middle and come to a compromise. So that's something you want, a great exercise you can actually do with your mate and something that you want to do. Or should I say your partner? All right. If your relationship is toxic or unhealthy, you're miserable, you need to seek help. You need to trust, support, encourage growth. You got to know your boundaries, be respectful, know what's best, and love you for you. So I always talk about self-care, and of course, and I probably should have said this in the beginning, this topic is for my people who are in healthy relationships, and they just, like I said, life just gets the best of them, and they kind of lose that little spark. But their relationship is healthy. Nobody's being abused. Nobody's being forced to do anything. You're not miserable. It's not you're dealing with a cheating spouse or a cheating mate or whatever the case may be. This conversation is for couples that are actually in it to win it and making it work, and both parties are happy. It's just that things are just, a little lame, so to speak. It's just a little lame, and we need a little kick in the ass. The relationship needs a kick in the ass just to bring that spark back, right? So I recommend, if you are having relationship issues, speak to a sex coach, a relationship coach, an intimacy coach. I don't have my intimacy coaching license right now, but 2020 I will be obtaining that, and you could give me a call or someone else a call and just have a session to go over certain things regarding your relationship if you're having issues in the bedroom or in your relationship, whatever. But it's very important that you are in a healthy relationship. Love does not hurt. Love doesn't make you miserable. I'm not saying that you don't go through things in your relationship, but it shouldn't be to the point where you don't recognize yourself. So make sure before you're trying to go above and beyond to please your mate that you are happy within yourself and happy in your situation, whether it's a relationship, whether it's just a love partner, life partner, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Next tip. It's not always about the kids. Love your mate too. Let's face it. If you're married or if you've been together for a long time, you have kids together. Yes, the kids are important. But sometimes fuck them kids. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, but sometimes for real, fuck them kids. No, because, once your child gets a little older, they're not going to need you as much anymore. And you're going to spend so much time on your kids and grooming your kids, and you forgot about your lover. You forgot about your mate, your best friend. You neglected them. And over the years, you just lost what your mate is really into or what they love because you were so involved in your children, and nothing wrong with that. But you still have to make room for your relationship and keep that spark going. Yes, the kids are important, but you have to love on your mate too. You got to do things as a family together. But sometimes you got to go ahead and save that $20 or $30 to pay a babysitter or get mom and them to keep the kids or whatever the case may be. And you guys go on your date and have a good time where you don't have to worry about the stress of the kids. Even if it's for an hour away with just you two, is amazing. Or you can have mommy and daddy time, whatever time that is. Say you tell your kids you're meditating or something and lock yourself in the room. Of course, this will have to be if you have kind of older children that could kind of fend for themselves a little bit. Because, of course, if you have a 1 or 2 year old, that's going to be a little problem because, they always want to be up under you. But still, like I said, kids are important, but you have to love on your mate as well. So keep that in mind. Feel on each other, touch each other, kiss on each other. Man, smack that girl booty. You know what I'm saying? Flirt with each other. Flirting should never end in your relationship. Okay? When I say touch on each other, things like that is foreplay. Even if you don't have sex every day or when you can, it gets you ready and prepared for when you guys finally have that intimate moment. Tell her she's beautiful. Tell him he's handsome. Different things like that to help just keep that flirtatious thing going on. Your kids should see you loving on your mate. It shouldn't be a shock or a surprise, if they catch their mommy and daddy kissing or whatever the case may be. So that's just something that will keep the spark. Now, if you're at the point where you don't want to be touched, refer back to you're in a toxic relationship. But women, we like our attention. We like to be rubbed on and massaged. Same thing with men. We have to take care of our men. And they want to, come home and, you massage their feet or give them massage or ask them about their day. Same, it goes both ways. So we do have to take care of each other when we are in a relationship. And that includes foreplay. And foreplay starts with telling each other how you feel, how you look. You look good today. Is that a new outfit? Is that a new hairdo? Did you just get a haircut? Thank you for mowing the lawn. You know what I mean? I'm going to give you a little surprise later on tonight. Things of that nature. Okay, so flirting is very, very important, even while you're in a relationship with each other. Be involved in each other's lives. Ask questions and communicate. And what I mean by that is sometimes when you first get into a relationship, you can be into one thing and then it can totally switch to something else. That's our prerogative as humans. We tend to change our minds a lot, and that's okay. So you want to communicate. You see your man is into something, maybe you should try it. You're not really into video games, but your man is into playing video games. So you every so often will try to play video games with him. Fellas, your ladies like to go dancing. So you book some salsa lessons as a date night and take her dancing, or just go to a club and dance with her. That sort of thing. You can work out together. You can cook together. Make sure you're going to the kids' events. And just plain old planning something. You want to do a family trip or just a trip for just you two? Plan it with each other. Do something together. You got to keep your activities with each other together, and also be interested in things that they may be interested in. For example, I'm not into sports at all. Not basketball, not football, nothing. But if I know my partner's favorite team is the University of Miami, I'm going to surprise him with 2 tickets to a UM game or a Dolphins game or whatever the case may be. I may not go with him, but, if I'm like, this is going to be our date night, then of course I'm going to go because I love looking at live sports. I just can't stand watching it on TV. But that's just my personal thing, child. You ain't got to worry about me. But I know it's a lot of women who love sports and football just as much as their man does. Or their mate, shall I say. And we kind of talked about this already. Date night. Have a date night once a week. Put it on your calendar. Make it mandatory. Try to go. I know, like I said, life happens and you have kids, you have jobs. I would say you should be going out on a date. If you can't do every week, at least once or twice a month. And it doesn't have to be all day. It can be for an hour. It can be for 2-3 hours. Look up dayuse.com or daycations.com, I think it's called. And you can get a hotel for like half the price and stay during the day, go to the pool, work out, or just stay in the room and do what you do for a couple hours. You go in the morning around 11, you check out around 5. It's, some of them are usually like $50-$60. Y'all can get y'all some drinky drink, get some food, stay in the hotel, and just enjoy each other. So date night is very important. Sometimes you can just do it in your backyard if you need to, if you can't find a babysitter or don't have the funds to get a babysitter. You got to make it work. Okay. And the last thing is what do we call it? Sexting. Sexting, meaning sexy text messages during the day. And the same thing goes back to the flirting. That's also foreplay. That's also a form of flirting. So when you guys, again, get intimate or get a chance, you can remember that text message. You can send sexy pictures of yourself without being totally nude. You can, send a dirty message to your mate. And you guys can play around during the day and keep yourselves excited about each other. So that's something you can do as well. Now, that's my tips. Again, if you have other tips, if you have questions, if you have different ideas from me, please feel free to leave me a message. If you're on Anchor or any of the podcast forums, leave me any messages on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram when I post these, so I can, come back and do a part 2 and then maybe add some of your suggestions that you're given. And so others can chime in and we can keep this active and help couples keep their relationship interesting and exciting. Now, I did do some research because I always do some research, and I was looking for things that was fitting to this conversation. And I came across an article that talked about interesting facts about love. So I pulled some of the ones that were that I found interesting and fit what we're talking about. So one of them said, falling in love has neurological effects similar to those of cocaine. Ain't that some shit? So, so love, when you're in love, it does keep you and get you on a high. So a lot of times we want to keep that high. And how do you keep that high in love? Is by keeping your relationship interesting, exciting, and I'm going to add spicy. Okay. Number 2, cuddling releases natural painkillers. So loving on each other, flirting, cuddling, all of that stuff helps with releasing pain and can be helpful in, in relieving whatever pain you may have. So make sure you cuddle and that you continue to flirt with one another. The third one, romantic love eventually ends, only to be followed by committed love. Now, I agree with this statement. Please let me know if you agree with this statement. In this article, it talked about the first year you're in the romantic love phase, which includes the butterflies, the sweaty palms, the can't get enough of each other, the euphoria, just, that new love. Everybody know what I'm talking about, that new love, that romantic love, which usually lasts about a year. And then after that comes the committed love. And the committed love stage is where you're growing, where you're learning more about each other, where you have to be committed, committed to the love and committed to keeping your relationship interesting and exciting, as the title says. All right. The next one is holding hands with your love releases pain and stress. So being in love, based on research, science, all of that good stuff helps release pain and stress. And I do believe this because when you're with someone that you're loving, you're just cuddling and you're loving on each other, and you're happy with one another, you're less stressed. You know, it helps with less stress. And I'm not sure about the pain part, but I'm pretty sure it does help with that. So that's something to consider. Now, today, which is the 1st of October, I went on Facebook and Instagram, and I put a question on there, and I believe I asked, what do you do to keep your relationship alive? So I wanted to just quickly go over some of the responses I received. I bet y'all ain't know I was going to use y'all responses. So I'm only going to use first names because some of you are not going to know who I'm talking about unless you have me on Facebook and can go to my posts. But I'm going to say, okay, we're going to go with some of them. I'm not going to tell you do all of them, just some of them. One of them said what they do to keep their relationship alive. This was from Nicole. She said they do date night. They use toys, sneaking away, spending alone time without the kids or interruptions. They love play fighting, singing songs, and playing games together. A gentleman named Trav, he said, teach her things to grow her mind and improve her lifestyle. Go on date nights, road trips, space, give each other space, pretty much give each other time to miss each other instead of being on top of each other all the time, and keep off social media. Toys, she said to surprise him or surprise your mate. Mace said date night and keep her laughing. I believe, Vicky said we like to surprise each other and plan frequent getaways, even if it's close to home. Val said keep people out. So meaning keep people out of your business and love on each other. Cher said do things separately sometimes and have exciting stories to share. Be willing to try something once. So that was some of the suggestions that some of my friends gave for keeping their relationships alive. All right. So in closing, I just want to say that relationships may get boring, but it's up to both of you that's in a relationship to keep it alive, to do the work, to make it happen. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this topic. And next week, I know I'm doing the kind of love stuff right now, but pretty soon I'm going to get into the stuff y'all really want to talk about. But for now, we want to get and keep it kind of equaled out with talking about love, relationships, and everything sexy. So I hope you guys tune in next week for our next episode. But thank you for listening in. Again, if you have any questions, concerns, if you're interested in some toys that you can use to spice up the bedroom, hit me up. I'm on Instagram at Beyond Sexy Lingerie. That's BEYOND Sexy SEXY Lingerie LINGERIE. All right, Beyond Sexy Lingerie on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I'm also on YouTube, pretty much every damn social media, okay? You can find me. You can also find me on Facebook. My actual page is Eve Queen. I would love to have you as my Facebook friend, as well as on Instagram. So, with all of that being said, keep your relationships interesting and spicy, and continue to love on each other. Bye-bye. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.